Taylor Hall. Okay, because we've been teasing this for a while. I've been reading every column. I've been watching every insider's report, and it didn't make sense to me. It took a farmer from Dysart to explain to me why this happened, and it's just a simple rental player situation with Taylor Hall, right? Yeah. It's as simple as that. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. But here's what I still don't understand why New Jersey's necessarily giving him up. I mean, I saw Mark Spector on Sportsnet last night saying Taylor Hall has grown up. I think we all know that when he was in Edmonton, that needed to happen. Maybe he has grown up. I hope so. And how coveted is he going to be come next July 1st in the NHL then? And is that looking too far ahead?
Yeah, it might be looking too far ahead because I'm sure Arizona is going to show him around and let him know if they're happy with the situation, if they really want him. They're going to work on it. They're going to want to sign him to a deal before then. So he could be signed up with Arizona within a month or two. Who knows? I'm sure they'll be talking about it. I don't think they would have given up a lot right now for a rental player only. I think they, deep down, would like another star player in the desert, and he'd be perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot. For me, it feels like with Arizona, a team that typically doesn't spend a lot of money. We talk about the contracts, Datsuk, Pronger, right? All these contracts they've buried or they've eaten of guys who can't play the game anymore and aren't in the league.
But still have contracts
just to get to the cap floor. So just to get to the floor, the amount they have to spend. So for me, if they see a window, they're not a team that's going to spend every year to be competitive every single year and spend right to the cap. So when the team's competitive and they're challenging to win a division, they're seeing an opportunity to go all in. Because these windows are going to come and go. And if they go all in one year and they spend some money and they get to the cap ceiling today, it might not happen for the next 10 years, right?
Well, definitely. Plus, they got their own young guys coming up to the system that are going to get paid a lot more.
Yeah.
When those guys mature and get to the point of needing the big contracts, they'll hopefully have that room for them too, because I'm sure they want to maintain. And I'll be, truthful. I'm sure the guys that are down there want to stay there.
But Clark,
great place to play,
Yeah, Clark put out the stat in our pre-show meeting, and Clark, correct me if I'm wrong, but he said Taylor Hall's got 25 points for the basement-dwelling New Jersey Devils. He said. And he led the team in scoring. He said nobody on the Phoenix Coyotes or the Arizona Coyotes who are atop the division has 25 points. So balanced scoring, but how long is that sustainable when you don't have any of that high-end firepower? Much like the opposite in Edmonton with how long can you only rely on two guys scoring? It's a little bit of both. You have to have complements, right? So now you bring in that complement of a high-end offensive guy to complement all this depth scoring that they have in Phoenix, and they might be a legitimate contender.
Well, a couple things. One, anybody that goes to Arizona immediately loves it. I've been watching people on Facebook, friends of mine that have just gone there for the first time over the past couple of weeks, and they're like, this is the greatest place. We're like, yep. Been saying it for a long time. Is that enough to stay? Not necessarily for NHL free agents, but if the team's good, all of a sudden it's bing, bing. And again, back to what Spector said on Sportsnet last night. He said Arizona is, all eyes of the hockey world are on Arizona, and has that been the case since 1996? I would submit yes. 2012 when they went to the Western Conference Final against the LA Kings. If it was 2012, I believe that it was. And they were packing the joint. And I was in Phoenix at the time. There was front page news all over Phoenix. And this is what people don't understand. People say it's not a hockey town. It can be if you win. That's what it takes. And I've sat in that crowd, particularly at Ryderville events that we've hosted in the past, and people like season ticket holders that are from Phoenix. They're like, everybody says that the rink's out of the way, people bitch and moan. No, if we had a winner here, people would support it. So I guess my question, and I have not tweeted yet the poll question. Maybe you have, Clark, and if you haven't, I'll do it here. Oh, he has. Our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center, is: does the addition of Taylor Hall make the Arizona Coyotes a Stanley Cup contender? I would have to put my finger on no. I'm sorry. And as we sit here today, it's an interesting conversation. Here's the poll results. 38% say yes. This is on Facebook. 33% say no. And 40% aren't sure. The majority doesn't know. And you know what? They got it right. The majority's right because they don't know. But the Oilers and the Coyotes are tied today. It's a great time to have this talk because they sit atop the division lead with 42 points each. Which of the two is the better Stanley Cup contender? That would be something I'd like to know.
Wow. Yeah. And today I can't tell you. I can't. I would default.
Well, nobody can. It's fun to talk about.
I default to Edmonton just because they've got the higher end talent. And those two, I would take those two over anybody in the NHL. And I'm a Toronto guy, and they've got a pretty good group there too when it comes to high end talent. But we always look at it's the depth players that win in the playoffs come playoff time, because it's easy to game plan against, the best and say, okay, these two guys, whatever we do, they're not doing anything today. We're going to make the rest of the team beat us. And if that's the case, I like Arizona.
Well, Arizona, if they're better on defense and better in net, when you get into a long playoff run, they'll have to be. And if they are, they could maybe be the team that has a better chance. Is Oilers' goaltending strong enough to take them to a Stanley Cup final? Maybe it is. I don't know, but it's something to be seen. But obviously, when you're looking at what both teams have, I look back at Vegas last year, looking at their run. Some of their defensemen, I didn't realize they could be that good. I didn't know McNabb was going to be so outstanding on the back end. I saw him play lots of hockey. He's from Davidson. Saw him grow up in Saskatchewan in summer hockey tournaments when he was a kid. Never knew that he was going to be that great. And I don't think he even knew he was that good till he had the right coach in the right situation. So a lot of these guys, you don't know who blossoms at the right time. And when whoever comes along, they're the ones that are going to be there. And like we saw, hot at the right time. That's all that matters. Your goaltender's hotter than a pistol. Who knows? Yeah,
I know we got to get to a break. And coming up here in hour one, Dean Millard of Edmonton, longtime TSN 1260 broadcaster. He's now with the 12-ounce Sports Broadcasting Network. As a matter of fact, Clark tells me Dean is ready after the break. We'll take your text messages on this hockey show today on the Prairie Mobile text line, 306-840-8777. That's 840-8777. A very Prairie Christmas. Receive a free wireless charging pad with your accessory purchase of $80 or more at Prairie Mobile. That is province-wide. We'll be back in a moment. It is a Tuesday morning here in the bunker. Rod Pedersen Show coming at you on Facebook Live, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.